In Austin, I'm Darenisha Heron. Plans are shifting once again for Austin ISD families. As KVUE's Jose Alonso shows us, district leaders are delaying district-wide boundary changes by a year.
Multiple Austin Independent School District campuses are now closed, and the district must navigate where these students will attend class and which active campuses will engulf those previous boundaries.
It would make sense to me if there's an ongoing review of population shifts and development locally.
Austin ISD parent Aaron Zayer says the Crestview community is keeping one another informed about the district's changes by holding community meetings at Birdhouse Books.
School closures, boundary alignments, resources and consistency in resources across different schools are a big challenge and are a lot to keep up with and understand.
Austin ISD planned to introduce boundary changes in the 2027-28 school year, but now it's giving itself more time. A press release from Superintendent Matias Segura says, quote, instead of implementing district-wide changes for the 2027-28 school year, the comprehensive realignment will now target implementation for the 2028-29 school year. This new timing allows us to have the necessary time to make better, more sustainable long-term decisions along with the community. Owner of the Birdhouse Books and Austin ISD parent Abby Strite says there's sympathy for the district as parents understand it must meet state requirements.
We have had wonderful experiences in AISD, but I am very concerned with the direction that we may be going based on state involvement.
We know that there are challenges within Austin School District and managing through the changes that the district must manage through. So many of those are, though, at how the TEA chooses to fund or not state resources for local school districts.
AISD revealed it's received more than 2,750 comments with helpful feedback regarding its proposed boundary realignment plan, showcasing how involved parents are becoming in this conversation.
Austin families are not sitting this one out. We're going to show up. We're going to be loud. Don't mess with Texas kids.
That was Jose Alonso reporting. AISD officials say the district will approach boundary changes in two phases. First, it'll focus on urgent changes for the 2027-28 school year and propose boundaries to the Board of Trustees by September. Then it'll focus on enrollment trends following recent closures and engage with families before proposing comprehensive boundary changes and possible consolidations for the 2028-29 school year. The Marble Falls community is coming together to honor a first responder who gave his life to help others. Michael E. Phillips served in the Marble Falls Area Volunteer Fire Department for 30 years. Eventually, he became the fire chief. During last year's tragic floods, Phillips' vehicle was swept off the roadway by floodwaters during a service call. His body was never found. Over the weekend, officials opened a new fire station in his honor on Saturday in Marble Falls. Skydivers carrying the Texas flag dropped into the celebration. The community and neighboring fire departments came over for food and games. The new fire chief, Derek Curtis, says this project meant a lot to Phillips. Curtis says it shows how much of an impact Phillips left on the community, and this station is just a small piece of his legacy.
He was like a father figure to a lot. He was a mentor, and he was just the best friend to everybody. In the community, he was a pillar. Everybody could go to Mike, and if they needed something, and he would just touch everybody's life that he was around.
Chief Curtis says another part of the facility will be used for training. He says Phillips loved to teach, so his legacy will continue for future generations of firefighters. Central Texans are stepping up to help people in Venezuela impacted by devastating earthquakes. Austin Venezuelan Association hosted drop-offs outside of two Fogonero restaurants. Their locations are in Pflugerville and Cedar Park. The organization collected essential supplies and money. Their director says her parents' home in Venezuela was damaged.
So they are able to go back, yes, but you don't know if the building will crack more with the replicas that are being done over there. So getting out of Venezuela, it's kind of difficult also right now because the airport is closed. Just opened yesterday one of the airports that it's nearby, so not even the main airport, because it was damaged.
You can find a link to the GoFundMe on our website, but just look for the story on KVUE.com. As we approach the nation's 250th birthday, we're honoring Central Texans who are going above and beyond for their communities. Quita Culpepper introduces us to Andrea Phillips. She's the founder and a volunteer at Lifelong Friends Pet Adoption in Lago Vista.
At Lifelong Friends Pet Adoption,
I can't believe it's been 30 years ago.
pictures of dog days gone by are posted on the bulletin boards, each one with a tale to tell.
Time flies when you're having fun. Come on in.
They're reminders of Andrea Phillips' 30-year legacy of saving helpless and abandoned animals and finding them loving homes.
Sometimes they're brought to us, sometimes we find them abandoned on the street and they're starving to death.
Phillips and her volunteer crew rescue dogs and cats in the North Lake Travis area.
There isn't really an animal control department in this area. And there was a real need out here. The need is even worse now because the population has grown out here.
Phillips started Lifelong Friends to find a new purpose in her life.
I was needing something to do and to fulfill, an empty space that I had at the time.
She never expected so many years later she'd still be saving lives on a shoestring budget.
We don't have funding from the county, we don't have funding from the city. So we take them in, we get them vetted, we get them spayed and neutered, we get their shots, and we do all of that for the last 30 years on nothing but donations.
Each furry friend gets the help they need, like this good boy.
Bear, one of our dogs, had a broken hip. He had been hit up 1431 by a car.
Bear is now happy, healthy, and ready for a forever home, thanks to Phillips and her team of volunteers.
And I think there would be an awful lot more suffering going on without us if we weren't here.
Of course, Phillips and Lifelong Friends can always use your help. If you'd like to volunteer or donate, just look for the story on our website, KVUE.com.
I have the deepest honor of announcing you, husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride. Congratulations, y'all.
Love is in the air in East Austin. On Sunday, couples tied the knot for free. Travis County Judge Denise Hernandez officiated multiple weddings at Cathedral ATX. It's the fourth year Judge Hernandez officiated the event. She says the goal is to create a safe and inclusive space for couples to celebrate their love. She says the idea came from her own experiences planning her wedding.
When I began planning my own wedding with my wife, we had experienced a lot of discrimination for being a gay couple. We actually got denied a venue because we were a queer couple. And so when I became an elected judge, I knew what I wanted to do was partner with local community partners to create safe space for all couples.
We should have that same opportunity just as much as everybody else, having those rights, just as much as everybody else to share this moment, getting married.
Each newlywed couple also received free photos, cupcakes, and flowers. That's all from us here in Austin. I'm Darrenisha Herron.